Alright, alright. We're gonna do some puzzles this morning. Now, I've already done the puzzle of the day, and the puzzle of the day just sticks around. So I'm gonna just kind of pause here for a second and let you guys take a look at it. You can pause the video, and then we'll do it together. Alright? How'd you do? Did you good? Alright. So there are a couple of moves here that when I first was doing this puzzle, I started considering. I did not get it correct on my first attempt, and so I failed this puzzle. But my first thought is, okay, so if we look at the material on the board, white is ahead on material. I'm playing the black pieces, white is ahead on material, so I cannot make even trades. So if I wanted to do something like this with check, well, that's not even a good example, but I don't want to make trades. Like, I'm not going to try to sacrifice anything to make trade. Well, maybe there's some sacrifice. Let's look. But either way, I'm down in material. Next step would be to... next step I looked at was this move. So I wanted to see if I could continue this attack with black. And this check is very powerful because notice the king only has one square it can go to. So there is a possible of what's known as a perpetual. So my queen is there, the king is there. Then my next move, I can come right back to here, put the king in check again. He runs away again. I go back and check. So we could end up in a draw simply from repeating this pattern over and over. But that's not very fun. So, and plus on these puzzles, I've not actually seen that solution, a perpetual draw. I've not seen that as a solution yet. So the next move to consider is what are we doing with our rook? If we go down here for check, does that help us? Well, if we go here for check, my opponent... Well, notice the king does not have any escape squares. My queen is covering both the escape squares. So if we go put the opponent in check along this line, my opponent has to capture the rook. Well, then what? I've just given away a rook. But let's not forget that we had this move in reserve. So go put my opponent in check again. He has to flee, and then I pick up the queen. So now I have traded a queen for a rook. I'm in a much better shape. All right. So that one's a little unfair because I had seen it before. But as soon as I click continue, it becomes a random puzzle I've never seen before. All right. So my opponent had, my opponent had an undefended bishop, so he got it out of the way. But now that's an undefended knight. Is there time to take that undefended knight? No, there isn't. Because look, I take a knight, he takes a bishop. I take another knight, though. Aha! I take, he can take with the knight. I take, he takes with his pawn. I can win a pawn at the end of the day. But I like this move sequence. This first one I looked at actually has got me, because if I take here, and let's say he moves, excuse me, he moves the bishop, then I can just move my rook right back and protect. So I think I like that. Let's go with that move order. Take, he takes, perfect, and then I take this. I'm up a whole bishop at the end of the day. Oh, I see. Okay, okay, and he says if I move this rook out of the way, oh, I can just tuck it here. Yeah, I was gonna say, if he says if I move this rook the wrong way, he can then come down here with check. So all I gotta do is move this rook here. Still keep an eye on that. And I'm good. Yeah, there's some undefended pawns. My opponent can activate his hungry pig, right? But I've still got that covered. I've still got that covered. So yeah, this is an interesting position. I'd be curious to see how it plays out. But either way, white is up a whole piece now. 2 rooks, 2 pieces versus 2 rooks, 1 piece. Okay, let's move to the next one. Oof. I don't like puzzles, man. I don't like them when there's too much material on the board. It's hard for me to see. So what is my opponent threatening? My opponent's threatening a capture there. What else is my opponent threatening? Nothing there. I don't want to try that because that's covered. Let me think here, guys. Let me think. What do you feel? And feel free to anytime to pause your video, right? Just pause the video and you guys can work it out yourself. And then once you figure it out, you can then sit around and make fun of me for not figuring it out fast enough. What if I push the F pawn? Okay, here, right, let's talk about the F pawn again, the forget about it pawn. A lot of times we don't push the F pawn because it plays a vital role in protecting our king. But what happens if we push the F pawn? My opponent's queen has plenty of escape squares. Lots of escape squares, so no, there's no concern there. Not there. So yeah, so there's my opponent. This queen still has too many squares available to it, so we're not trapping the queen. Okay, we have trapped though a bishop. Can we put pressure on that bishop? Can't put pressure that way. I can put pressure that way. But I'm not going to take with my queen when you can just take back. I need to get a pawn here, and I don't have any pawns that can get there. So nope, we are not trapping a bishop either because. If I were to slide a rook here, put pressure along this file, what happens? He can take there. That is not defended. So I want to figure out a way to put pressure on something and defend at the same time. That's a good move in that case, because we're putting pressure on the queen and we're defending that at the same time. Is that a good move, though? I don't know. Pressure there. Defend that. My opponent's queen has to go somewhere. And then can I do anything at that point in time? Not really. I could just defend that way. That doesn't do anything, does it? Let me think some more. This one's toughy. All right, so let's ignore the queen for a second. And let's look at other long diagonals. That doesn't really do anything. That we're not really threatening anything in this case other than that bishop. But like I said, I'm not going to take that bishop with my queen. That seems to be the most likely candidate. But man, it puts me right on that diagonal. All right, so I am going back to I'm leaning on this pretty hard. That's the answer is no. Nope. All right, so I don't know. I have failed this puzzle. I'm gonna keep trying to figure it out. All three of my main ideas of protecting this bishop. Oh my gosh, I see it now. Oh my gosh, I'm so stupid. Oh my goodness. Yeah. I'm sure you guys see it now too. Well, instead of protecting that bishop, why don't we attack with that bishop? Right? It's defended here, and it's X-raying along that long diagonal. Well, that was so stupid. That was so easy. Yeah, these puzzles, man. Sometimes they get you. All right, so let's take a look here at what do we have. So my opponent is up in material. I am playing the black pieces. I could go here with check. My opponent's king can't approach this way. So if I go here, my opponent's king cannot approach this way. If I'm here with check on the king, my opponent would have to retreat backwards. And then if he retreats backwards towards me, what can I do with my knight at that point in time? Come right back? And I've won a pawn? That puts me 2 pawns to 4. What if I, ah ha ha, easy peasy, easy peasy, GG, too easy, no rematch. Night Forks, baby, Night Forks, baby. Okay, so let's just look to make sure there's no traps here. So I am the white pieces. My opponent is, once again, up in material. No, I'm the white pieces. This is, oof, two rooks, a queen and a thing. My opponent and I are equal in material. Come on, clickies, click the right way. My opponent and I are equal material. Aha, so he's going for this tactic. My queen is undefended. He is attacking, but I can take here and then also defend the queen at the same time. So if I had just blindly taken with the pawn, which seems like a good move, that drops my queen. Right? Whereas if I take with the knight, I've got it covered. So that's the plan. So we've traded queens and I've gone up a rook. I am now up in material. All right, that was a good one. That's a good one to stop on. So quick, short videos. Just doing some puzzles together. On that other one, you guys are probably making fun of me for missing that spear, whatever that was. That spear with that bishop. Man, that was a mistake. Queen, and rook, and then the queen can take a pawn and I can take a rook. Seems like a good trade every day. Oh well. So I've dropped a puzzle because I'm an idiot. But that's all right. Oh look, you can just click on the number and it takes you right back to it. Yep. So again, let's reevaluate. There is a long diagonal here, and I've got pieces that are in line. I've got a defended square that I can use to put that guy on there. We'll take that almost every single day. All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you had fun. Talk to you later. Bye.